I was mentioning a little earlier that you were a stamp scholar. I was a stamp scholar. That's how we met at Barry University. But how did you find out about the stamp scholarship specifically?
So I went to an open house at Barry when I was, I believe, a junior in high school,
Mhm.
because my parents love to start
Mhm.
early on everything. And so I met Angela Scott, who is in charge of the STAMP scholarship. I met her at the open house and was just talking to her, like trying to see about any like scholarships, and didn't realize that she was actually head of like this big scholarship at the university. And and kind of just spoke to her about like my service project that I had been doing for the past like couple years since at that time. And she was like, "Oh, you should apply for the scholarship." One, because I don't believe stamps, at least for when I had applied, was like super heavily focused on like grades and SAT and ACT
Right.
scores. They love to kind of have the involvement of the high school student and like what they're involved in,
Service.
service opportunities. Yeah, exactly. So this was honestly like the best possible scholarship I could get that like wasn't solely academic based.
Right.
Um, Even though like there are a lot that also do that, but it just kind of so happened that I was just talking to somebody who was in charge of the scholarship at the
Okay.
university.
Awesome. So for me, it was very interesting. So when I applied to all these different universities and I was narrowing down which ones I wanted to go to, I went on every page on the website, Googled everything to look at scholarships, or so I thought. But it wasn't until I got on the phone with I think it was my admissions counselor, or
Mhm.
maybe it was my financial aid counselor, one of the two. And I called him and I spoke to him and I was like, yeah, I really want to go to Barry. Are there any other opportunities that I qualify for? And he said, well, you
Mhm.
qualify for the stamp scholarship. It opens in about a month or so. Like, check back on the website and apply.
Yeah,
And I'm so glad he said that, Paige, because I never would have known. I
exactly.
never would have known.
Yeah. I think it's asking the
Yes,
questions and just being like, hey, what else is out there
yes,
that I can have an opportunity to apply
yes.
for?
So it's important to
Huge.
be proactive, like you said, to go to those open houses, to demonstrate interest so that people can
Mhm.
tell you about these opportunities and you could potentially have everything covered for your undergraduate career. So do
Definitely.
your best.